The night. Um, we have a Northern Storm versus Brew City Brawlers, the top of our ladder versus the bottom of our ladder. But I think Brew City can take one at least, maybe two. We'll see. Joining me for the last game is Sigtel Lord. Welcome back. Don't hear him. Maybe his mic's muted. Saw a noise there. Nope, it's not on my side this time. Well, while we get that sorted out, I just think that it's worth noting that the Brew City Brawlers. Well, while we get that sorted out, I've got echoes coming off you. Sig. Noting that Brew City. Okay, so I can hear myself echoing off him, but I can't hear him talk.
Off me?
Yes, there we go. There you go. I can hear you now. Okay, so I can hear myself echoing off. Yeah, I can hear you echoing still. I'm gonna try to turn myself down, I think. Yes, there we go. There you go.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. A little better. If someone in the chat could tell me if they can still hear us pretty well, that would be great. I'm gonna hop over there, really take a look. Yeah, if anyone in the chat could let me know if we're still audible. Cool, thanks guys. All right, so yeah, like I said, it's worth noting the Brawlers have 2 subs in today, so it definitely will be a little bit of a change of pace from what the games we've seen them before, and of course that can make all sorts of things happen. What do you think the Brawlers' chances are at least getting one game off here, Sig?
I think it's good. Always be scared of a man trapped, of a group of people trapped in a corner. Brew City Brawlers may not be playing for a playoff position, but they have more than enough on the table in order to protect their own pride and dignity. Cheesemates Gaming's calling it 2-0, so I'm not going to jump that far, but don't underestimate them. The underdogs are always something to be scared of.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know, I mean, it's especially when it's in this sort of situation. Maybe if yeah, obviously if this is a tournament just for fun, but Brew City being able to be someone who could take a game off an undefeated team, I think will definitely mean a lot to them. So it'll be exciting to see if they're able to pull that off.
Well, everybody wants to know if God bleeds. So we'll just have to see if the gods of the LCUS can bleed too.
Oh, is that what we're doing for this match? We're quoting bad movies?
That's an opinion, Kinos. That's an opinion.
All right. Well, we will see. We're almost ready to get rolling here. Everyone's signaling ready. We just need to actually press that start button. They're letting the tension build a little bit. So keeping us all on the edge of our seats in anticipation for this. We'll definitely have to see what the lineup does end up being for the pick and ban phase. That's going to really tell the story. If Northern Storm is able to get some champions that they feel comfortable with, I think it's going to be a little bit of a harder time. But the Brew City, of course, you know, needs every advantage they can get. So we'll see if they're able to get some strategic picks and bans. And here we go. All right. Final set of games of the night. Once again, next week we'll be moving into the playoff games, which I believe will include, let's see here, if I can do it off the top of my head, Northern Storm, Take the Lantern, Triple Strike, and White Wolf Gaming, I believe. I'm sure someone will yell at me that I'm wrong about that, but I won't look at the chat.
That's what chat's good for. Let us know how bad we are at our jobs.
Excellent. All right, so Zoe getting banned out, of course, and Braum, of course, very strong defensive character. And we will see. I mean, Northern Storm just really dragging this out. A lot of strategic thinking here. Getting that Orianna off the board, good CC, good slow, good protection. All around good pick there. Obviously not a surprise that Zoe gets banned out. I'm wondering if we're going to see... I would be really impressed if Brew City takes out a couple of some scary ADCs as well. Get Xayah off the table, for example.
Oh yeah, that's got to be a priority. She's such a powerhouse in this current meta. She needs to be dealt with. But looks like we're going for some more standard picks with the Shyvana ban.
Yeah, I mean, Shyvana was really impressive in the 2 games at the start of today.
Their fear is wise.
Yeah, and you got to get Fat Lee Zudir away from him. So really good early bans, I think, for Brew City. 2 targeted bans. Kazakhs also, of course, can be dangerous.
Oh, Vigar pick coming in. Incredible late game scaling.
Yep. Good. And also the first Vigar we've seen. He's either been banned out or ignored today so far, so good to see him pull out. Malzahar, obviously a very frustrating pick, but also one that is really good at helping secure wins, because you can just lock somebody down for a couple of seconds. So I like where Brew City Brawlers' heads are at for this game.
Well, they have the potential to where if they can take care of the carries like Kokoro, making sure that people like Port Swimmer are taken care of, they're not going to have any issues. I think I'm big on their side right now. I think they can play through this. They can show us what they're made of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Kane coming out. Hasn't been seen so far today, but obviously has had a few big games in the LCUS in the past couple of weeks. Vayne hasn't been the most popular character in the LCUS, so it'll be nice to see what she can do.
Oh yeah, we see Varus coming back into play here in this third set. Incredible play earlier from Goonstomp, so let's just see how this goes for Kokoro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, and I mean, especially with all the subs that, as I mentioned before, Brew City is dealing with, it'll be really interesting to see how the game is different, or their team is different. And of course Warwick getting picked up, so he's back for more in the last games of the LCUS. Nice to see him. More good lockdown. There seems to be a lot of single target focused lockdown coming out of these picks for Brew City so far. What do you think about that, Sig?
I think these are picks that generate picks with Vayne and her Condemn, Malzahar and his entire kit, Warwick with incredible ganks and proper R utilization, most importantly. And if you're caught out, you're dead. End of discussion.
Yeah, definitely will be interesting to see how well Northern Storm... I mean, Northern Storm traditionally has been very good at moving as a team, but they also enjoy doing a lot of split pushing. So, like banning out the Kled, for example. So I think the Warwick and Malzahar are also being picked out specifically to punish that. And we'll see if that works out for them.
Oh yeah. So far, just with these picks and bans, we're looking at some 1980s Cold War type mad scenario. Mutually assured destruction. Whoever pushes the button first might get the victory, but it's going to come down to who wins in these picks. Vision is going to be key in this game, and there's some. Gnosis he's a good pick to counter that Vigar. There's some major late game scaling carries that need to be weighed out here.
I'm actually surprised picking the Nasus first, because Nasus is a champion that you can counterpick and punish really hard. So I'm going to be interested to see who they pick to match up against this Nasus, because I mean they could really make his life miserable for 20 minutes.
I agree wholeheartedly, but that's the thing about Nasus. If they give him the opportunity to AFK farm for any amount of time, any kind of differential in game could be closed very quickly. I do want to point out the importance of that Tom Kench pick. That Tom Kench pick is going to be, I'm calling it right now, hyper vital. If you're playing against a pick comp, the ability to take away that pick with a single ability is going to change the scales of battle. So Tom Kench is going to be a deciding factor in this engagement.
The issue is, though, that it looks like it's going to be Tom Kench top, which means he's not necessarily going to be able to help out against so many picks early game.
I can see that pre-6, but at 6 he gets that global mobility that's just going to provide so much utility for this team. But Tarek, big counter on that. I mean, able to throw down the ultimate, you live forever. This is going to be so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the lineup that Brew City just backed out of the game for. Okay. But assuming the lineup is still the same, which I'm sure it will be, I'm really hoping that they manage to do what their team looks like they're supposed to be doing, which is a lot of single target lockdown, a lot of powerhouse lockdown and just his ability to secure and win when they find somebody available.
It's ultimately what it's going to come down to. But we'll have to see if anything changes. I'm not for sure the situation that's happening right now.
It looks like there was a game error. They were trying to pick Xerath, but the game wouldn't let them. And so that's
Interesting.
he got an error message trying to lock Xerath in. So
Well,
thanks, Riot.
yeah, it sounds like if something could have went wrong in this underdog situation, it did.
All right, so they're going to have to we're going to have to remake that, but hopefully the pick ban phase and everything will be quicker.
Oh yeah, it will be. Won't be long, folks, and we'll be right back into the action.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, very exciting champion lineup coming out of Brew City Brawlers, and I'm really hoping that they manage to get the lockdowns they're looking for. Because everything in that lineup, and especially I'm really interested to see how this top lane goes. Tahm Kench versus Nasus. Tahm Kench, as we've noted in previous games where Tahm Kench has been picked, is not the biggest damage dealer.
Oh, by no means, and especially if he's going to be in lane, he could fall severely behind because it's so difficult farming into anything else with a Tahm Kench. Nasus could give him some real headaches, but it's going to come down to those team fights.
And his lack of damage could mean that Nasus just is completely unapologetically able to farm just with no problems. So that is really dangerous.
If it does turn into one of those scenarios, I can foresee them trying to put pressure on the map in other lanes to take away that ability for him just to push down the top. So there's going to be some options to play around it, but not many, and it's going to be on the head of the needle balancing it.
I smell fear.
Well, as none of the picks and bans are obviously any sort of surprise. So as this comes out, let's talk a little bit about what the opposing side here. I mean, obviously we keep talking about Brew City Brawlers just because they, haven't really. They've only won one game this split, and they're up against the undefeated team. But they have a relatively good team lineup as well. I'm still not a big fan of Tahm Kench top, like at all in any sense of the word. But I think that their pick of Tahm Kench will definitely, like you said, help protect later in the game. It's just giving up such a early top lane is kind of painful. And Kayn, of course, is obviously big and powerful as well, assuming he's played correctly, which, I mean, Fatley is a really good jungler, so I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Yeah, he's been a highlight this entire split, so I'm excited to see how he closes it out.
And, I mean, with all hopes and dreams going on in the bot lane as well, it seems as though with Xerath being picked up, it seems like it's going to be a support Malzahar, which is somewhat interesting. Assuming I was hearing that correctly. I mean, that was what I read, was that instead of Taric, we were going to see a Xerath. Yeah, there's the Xerath.
When you're put in a corner, don't be scared to pull out any knife you can get, even if it's one of the plastic ones from Kroger. Do y'all have Kroger where you at? I just realized that might not be a relevant comparison.
I don't think it is a relevant comparison, but I'll roll with what you've got. And, I mean, of course, Varus is very strong. There is a lot of disabled potential coming out of Varus' ult, of Zyra's ultimate, and just her plant traps. So, a lot of CC potential to help counter any sort of diving in that the Brew City Brawlers does. And there's a lot of diving in the Brew City Brawlers is going to be able to do. We've got 2 single target disables, 1 single target slow, 1 single target stun, 2 single target stuns. Silence. It's just all over the board. Fear. I'm really excited if Brew City can pull this off correctly.
And I think they might be able to. They have a whole lot of those interrupt mechanics that could be important. The thing that I would probably say goes against their favor is the late game scaling. I don't know how it will go up against a Kane, a Vigar, and a Varus.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you were saying about how the Nasus is a good counter, or at least opposite to the Vagar because they both get delete buttons. But Vagar doesn't need to hit somebody for the delete button.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so Nasus has to rely on his ability to actually walk up and hit dudes, which of course can be hard when you're running into Vagar's stun wall and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's always worth pointing out that Nasus, he only scales his Q, where Vigar scales his AP. So Vigar is able to translate into an entire better champion as opposed to one guy that can just press Q.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, to Nasus's credit, he can do his Q much faster, but it's not quite the instant delete that Vagar can be. So it'll be interesting to see how well they build up for that. Also, a lot of AP damage coming out of Brew City as well, with both Xerath and Malzahar.
Oh yeah, and it's also worth pointing out that Zyra right now, knockoff Poison Ivy, running Ignite. So that's going to counteract some of that healing that Malzahar will do with his suppression and Warwick.
And Nasus.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so a lot of ability to stop some of the life drain that'll be coming out of some of those characters. So definitely planning ahead on that. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to, it's going to come down to how well Tom Kench can stop Nasus from getting fed and how well Kane can help out with that. It's going to how well Kane can do ganking, of course. Like we said, Fatley is really great, so I'm sure that'll work out in their favor. And if Malzahar and Xerath can, or Malzahar and Warwick rather, can effectively coordinate who they're locking down, and they don't waste their locking downs on kills on the support, for example, while the Vagar and Varus are poking at them.
Yeah, Brew City Brawlers definitely have more of an early game comp, minus the Nasus, of course. Of course, Vayne scales well. Of course, there are multiple people in both teams that scale well, but in terms of engagement, I would not want to face the Northern Storm right now after 30 minutes. With that Vigar, Varus, Kane, it's just going to be impossible to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Northern Storm has especially shown time and time again that they're really good at coming back from deficits, at sustaining, at keeping, the in-game mindset for long periods of time.
Oh yeah, well that's the difference between a good player and a great player. Someone that can play from behind.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to see how it works out. All right, so here we go. Our second to last game of the night. First match between Northern Storm and Brew City Brawlers.
Oh, good. I was running out of things to talk about.
Yeah, really. We could talk a little bit more about how Malzahar is good at single target lockdown if you want.
We could, but we got to move into the most important phase of the discussion, and that's skins. And I'm telling you, they're coming out strong, with the exception of Kane.
Pharaoh Nasus, ew, boo.
A little OG, little old, but still a goodie.
I got to give the skins to Northern Storm. Just Pharaoh Nasus, nope. So many Nasus skins and you pick Pharaoh Nasus. What is wrong with you?
I'm all about those Dark Star skins. And
yeah.
The one on, what's his name? That's actually 3 dudes.
Kane?
3 dudes, shooty guy.
Varus?
Varus, thank you. 3 dudes, shooty guy, definitely that is such a good skin.
Yeah, I mean, Varus' Dark Star skin is really good. And Thresh's is as well, though of course we haven't seen Thresh in the LCUS. So yeah, I mean, Dark Star plus against a Pharaoh Nasus, gotta give it to Northern Storm here, but don't let that count the Brew City Brawlers out, because we've already saw last game that skins don't necessarily equal wins. Ooh, almost pokes the Xerath there.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I don't think either team in this situation really wants early game engagement. You want to try and avoid that, get to the mid game as soon as possible. No one wants to be the first one to give up that pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, especially when you have characters who scale so much that neither side really wants to put them in a situation where they need to get into fights before they're ready. I mean, even let's forget that we didn't even talk about or remind ourselves of the fact that Kane has to scale also.
Yes, it's very important for him to hit that trigger where he makes the decision. Am I a lane bully? Am I an assassin?
Yeah, I'm expecting him to go tank, to go red Varus in this one, or not Varus, red Kane in this one, just because they're really missing tank.
It could be, and important to point out, if we are comparing Kane and Varus, he's only 2 dudes to Varus's 3 dudes. So numbers don't quite match up.
Well, Shaken is showing us why he picked Tahm Kench first. This Nasus is just going to die. 2 flashes, good job there, but not enough. Wow.
Wow, he's ours.
I mean, that is something to remember about Nasus, is that he is not tanky early on. He's like Jarvan in that way, where they get tanky later. So Nasus just up and gives up first blood, and this lane is going to be much harder for him because of it.
Yeah, blew the TP to get back quickly, not to miss out on any of that crucial farm.
Both flashes also down in the top lane.
I will say this, it is important to keep in mind that with that Tahm Kench, it's first blood, that's great, but there's really not 100 things he could do with it.
Right.
Could have went to a better person, but it's a wonderful that the engage happened like it did.
And he might just do it again, too. I mean, there isn't really much Nasus can do a level behind. Or not even a level behind. Items behind, though. Just more durability on that Tahm Kench. Just saying, sure, I don't deal that much damage, but you can't kill me. Kane's coming here, too. Nasus is in for a really tough lane.
And the CC's coming in, the stun.
Gets eaten. Rough life for Nasus. Though, once again, the kill goes to Tahm Kench.
Tahm Kench carry.
Alright, let's watch it happen. Tahm Kench carry. Warwick in a lot of trouble too. This whole flash burned. It's really unfortunate that that Brew is falling this far behind. Their well executed prevent the split push team comp has just fallen to pieces.
We'll have to see how this plays out. Like we said earlier, the measure of a good player is their ability to play from behind. We're going to be able to see exactly how good Brew City Brawlers are right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, especially because Xerath and the bot lane are still doing pretty well. Obviously, the Nasus is struggling. Nasus is going to have to farm in a tower a lot, which is, you know, a world that many Nasus live in anyway. But we'll just have to see, like, you know, like you said, coming back from adversity. Oh, I have the mid lane and support mixed up. My apologies, anyone who's complaining in chat. Alright. So let's see how this Malzahar's support is working out. He's trying to land a lot of his stuns. He's not really managing to, or not stuns, his silences. Not really managing to get many of them. Warwick was trying to be cute. He's going to get spotted out. Manages to bounce away, though, before Veigar comes and punishes him for it. Yeah, Nasus continuing to not push up. Wisely scared. Though the Kayn might have been spotted there, so maybe he could go back and at least try to take out a ward in a bush.
That could be.
Yeah, it seems like he's a little bit braver.
Call me crazy here, but in the top lane, it might actually be worth letting Tahm Kench push up, prevent this lane freezer, just giving Nasus the ability to do some of that free farming he needs to do to be relevant.
2 flashes burned in the mid lane as they tried to close down on the Veigar. Didn't quite work out, but good effort. Veigar also blew barrier to try to survive, though he didn't necessarily need to. Kane's here. Does get spotted out by the Mals, but Vayne is really out of position. Fortunately for Vayne, Kane does try to use his slow on Mals instead. So Vayne manages to get out, though does have to blow flash for it.
Oh.
Nasus gets eaten. Nasus goes down again. Maybe not.
Oh.
Oh.
No. That
That
was a
was-
tension building cue.
Yeah, that was a 360 no scope tongue move right there. Actually spun around to do it too. Such drama.
Oh, and finesse. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
And so Tom sitting comfortably at 3-0, really owning the lane. I'll have to write Shaken an apology letter when this is over for doubting his pick. I'm sure Nasus would probably be doing better if he hadn't just been caught out like that by the Tom. But, I mean, early on. But we you know, different worlds. We'll have to see.
Well, when it comes to threat mitigation, taking care of Nasus early game, it's a good way to make sure your late game stays safe. And the Vigar right now, Vigar is setting comfortably at 36 CS.
34 stacks as well, so doing really well building those stacks.
So they've mitigated what the late game's going to look like to this point.
Truffle trying to exchange blows with Vagar. Hasn't really been able to land many shots though. Warwick
I'm not
shows up.
sure. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Warwick shows up, doesn't manage to get much done. Only about a third of the way to 6, so it's gonna be a little bit before Warwick really becomes a scary ganker.
Now, of course, I'm not a top-tier player, but I wonder about that stutter step Warwick made a minute ago. What might have been different had they went in and engaged on that a little heavy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see. I'm not sure the Vagar would have been in too much danger, if only just because the Warwick hadn't wound up his howl at that point.
Fair point, fair point.
Alright, Nasus at 36 stacks. Little behind, obviously, suffering from those 3 deaths. Vagar's at really low health, actually. This is getting a little dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if Xerath tries to ult here. Of course he can't, because Kane's here. Gonna end up dying. Kane does take a couple of tower shots. Ooh! Flash
Whoa,
from the Warwick. I'm not sure that was the right call. Probably gonna get the... Yeah, good job with the Vagar. Might be able to get this too.
Oh, wow.
Almost a twofer. Not gonna get him though. Not probably should have gone in there. Nope. Okay. Almost a twofer, but really good use by Lee of going into the wall there. That's the really good Canes who take advantage of that wall running to avoid danger like that.
I will admit, though, LeBron's names did show some incredible reserve not using his ultimate to finish off that Vigar, giving him the opportunity to ultimate 2 Fat Lee. So, who knows? That play might pay off in the future, but not right now.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows really good understanding of who your champion is and what it can do. Nasus, once again, in a lot of trouble. This Nasus needs help. Somebody send this Nasus a care package or something. Blows the ult
and
too.
the flash.
It blows the flash and ult. Good job by the Xerath picking off the Zyra in the bot lane there.
Oh.
Yeah, so this Nasus just needs to be sent home for some shore leave or something, man. Oh, this Vagar might be in a lot of trouble. Warwick is... Yeah, that's it. Good job by the Warwick, making sure that he had nowhere to go. Kane told to fall back and does.
Yeah, most definitely. And good job on the Vigar for showing some restraint and trying to escape, realizing, there's not much to go from here. It is worth pointing out in this short lull, this Tahm Kench is doing the most harmful thing that he can. He's freezing the lane and slow pushing. He's not giving the Nasus any time, any opportunity to increase his play.
Yeah, he's playing the top lane really well right now. We'll have to see how much of an impact that has. I mean, obviously, a 4-0, anybody can be scary. Hopefully the Nasus gets a couple of Qs here. Up to 45 stacks now, 46 stacks on the Vagar.
potential engage possibility on the bot lane as Fatley is sitting down there waiting for the opportunity to engage.
Ooh, good root there. Vayne's in a lot of trouble. 3 roots going down on the Vayne.
She wasn't going anywhere, Kenos. Nowhere.
Yeah. Really unfortunate there, but once again shows all of the absolutely absurd CC potential that can come out of team compositions that you coordinate correctly here. Mal's really trying in on this Varus. Wisely does not go too deep. Warwick trying to keep people honest over here by this dragon. Does get stunned though. They've got, I was going to say they have people trapped in there, but of course you can't really trap a Kayn in a box. They do get the Veigar again though, so Veigar's really getting picked on, much like the Nasus in the top lane. Speaking of Nasus.
Yeah. It is a good answer, making sure that you don't get outscaled in the late game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both high scaling champions getting shut down relatively well by both sides. I mean, Nasus is just having the roughest game of probably that he's had in the last week, I would imagine.
Perhaps. It is worth pointing out, despite the major kill advantage and the CS advantage, Tahm Kench isn't going very aggressive. Giant's Belt, we've got Mercury Treads, still rocking the Doran Shield and the Ruby Crystal. He's going for tanky.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's also worth noting, like I said, since Nasus isn't incredibly tanky, at least not compared to Tahm Kench, in the early game, that also means that they aren't really going to have much of a tank when it comes down to team fighting either. Because Nasus is not going to be fed enough to be able to deal the kind of damage, or take the kind of damage that you want your tanks to be able to take. Good dodges there by Veigar. Warwick gives no damn about how well you're good you are at dodging though. Ooh, really good stun there. Might actually get taken out. Nope. Great play by the Warwick. Varus gets suppressed. Vayne is going to knock him into a wall. Varus goes down. They might get a twofer here. Good flash by the Vayne. Hungry, hungry Vayne.
Ignite goes off on the Malzahar, but to no avail.
Yeah, it was close, but not close enough to matter. First turret's probably going to go to Brawlers as well. Alright, so we're in a situation now, despite the Nasus getting fed on, to the point where Kayn is now coming to feed on as well. Looks like Kayn went Assassin.
Port Swimmer has disconnected from the game.
Ooh, Warwick runs up into something. Probably didn't want to go up here. We might end up seeing Warwick go down, and he does. Oh, good job by the Xerath. Xerath chunks this Kayn. Xerath's ult is on cooldown, so he can't try to contest this, but that's a quick 2 kills there.
We do have a pause. Looks like that is due to Port Swimmer's disconnection.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully he'll be able to get back into it, but while we're waiting for him to get back, I was going to say this is a situation we've seen Northern Storm in a couple of times. Where they have the momentum's kind of started to swing away from them, and then they managed to get some picks and bring it back. So in this situation, some of those picks would be situations like that Warwick that just got picked off from the top lane, where Nasus goes down, someone else on the enemy team tries to 2v1 because they think the other person, typically Shaken, is weak enough. They misread the situation and get picked off as well. We saw that with Shaken playing on Kled last week, and we just saw that now here, which is a surprise durability of Tahm Kench. So we'll see if the Brawlers manage to avoid the same sort of traps that other teams have fallen into, and are able to maintain any sort of momentum they're able to gain, which they do still, I think, have the momentum at this point.
Oh yeah, this game is super close.
Yeah, I mean, I think Xerath just needs to be able to land his ult a little bit better, and they'll be able to start steamrolling. There was a really good play bot lane there, which we were able to catch with the Vayne and the Mals taking out the the Xerath and the Zyra. Not Xerath, Varus and the Xayah. So, of course, the kills probably would have been better served on the Vayne, but you got to get a support AP character fed too if you want them to maintain their position as a high AP character later.
Oh yeah, and you don't want to lose that potential with a Malzahar support to get your third carry.
Alright, so we got Xerath coming back here, doing a little more poke. Vhagar is starting to deal damage, though. Cannot be understated. Vhagar is at 71 stacks. Almost killed the Xerath in a relatively equal trade. Alan Z trying to come up here with Mal's to help, but not really a good position to be in. And Nasus is still relatively terrified under tower. Shaken almost has double his hit points. Warwick is coming up to help, though. Big fight going on in the bot. Good job by the Vayne, though Kayn shows up and cleans that up. We'll see if Nasus and Warwick can clean up the Tahm Kench. Maybe a bit of a blown flash there. I don't think they have enough of a push to be able to get him. Not
He's
to mention,
so tanky.
right? Not to mention he still has thick skin up. So Nasus doesn't have flash, which is probably going to hurt him later, considering how slow Nasus can be.
We do see the shutdown come in. Warwick picking up some big gold.
Yeah, good job there by the Warwick. Finally managing to get a kill. I think Warwick's definitely going to be a linchpin on this team. All right, Xerath misses his stun, unfortunately.
Very good use of the hourglass there.
Ooh. Once again, missing that ult, unfortunately. But does manage to clean it up on the second shot.
Yep, makes it a 1-for-1 there. Definitely, that's the best outcome you could have had.
Especially because that was the Kayn's first death. So big shutdown gold there as well. But definitely a good trade for the Xerath. If he had to make a trade at all. Oh, they might be going to the support here. Nasus really working out on it. Warwick does not have his ult. And is not able to get it.
Woo-wee!
Good job by the Vhagar coming in to help at the last second. Nasus unfortunately going down again. Now 0-7.
That'll teach them two puppies to urinate.
Ooh, good suppression there. Here comes the Warwick. The stun saves them again. Oh, that's so frustrating.
Oh man, that hurt my joints watching that.
I mean, Warwick can still somewhat detect the two relatively low characters, but he's not trying to take the time to hunt them down. Varus is somewhat out of position here. They could go after Varus, but Warwick seems more content with going after the... Nope, they've changed their... Nope.
The smart play.
Warwick.
Yeah, I think the smart play is the Herald, looking at the time frame that we're setting at, and that will give them the ability to push harder than they already are.
Ooh, good job popping ult here. Does land both of them. Nasus helps close that out. Rift Trail does go down. Tahm Kench just eats Malzahar, though. And Kayn helps take out Xerath. Nasus, get out of there. Good job taking out the Varus, finally.
Yeah, big suppression coming in there, preventing any of the damage that he could have done.
Yeah, just to fall back, guys. Fall back. There you go. Alright. So, not the best exchange, but one that they did manage to get 1 or 2 picks off on. I would really like to see the Xerath be able to land a few more of those ults effectively. Nasus popping his own ult, trying to survive as much as he can, but of course, if Tahm Kench has the turret aggro, he's not dying.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So 2 turrets go down for red team there. Really brutal. 2 Inferno Drakes also for Northern Storm. Which is not an advantage that they would like Northern Storm to have. Vhagar at 115 stacks. Nasus at 90. So obviously Nasus at about half the strength you'd want him to be at. Warwick still sitting pretty comfortably at 5 and 2. If we look at the gold, Nasus is about, yeah, he feels like a support Nasus at this point. His gold reflects that as well. Only about 5,300 compared to 7,000 or more from the characters who are supposed to be getting fed, or who are fed.
And that stinks for him, but we've also reached a point in the game where he's going to be able to do some AFK farming, so he could scale back. It's not out of the question.
A little bit of miscommunication there in the bot lane. Vayne tries to push the Tahm Kench off. Malzahar tries to suppress him. So Malzahar pays for it. Vayne manages to get away.
Yeah, you got to be careful helping what that can do.
Alright, so big push going in the bot lane. 3 trying to take down this turret. Xerath gets spotted, so he has to take the long way around. Good job ulting to just take out the minions.
Definite smart play there.
And good job by the Warwick, who is actually just putting the team on his back right now. Killing the Veigar solo, summoning Rift Herald. It goes right at that turret. Only Tahm Kench there to defend this. Vayne and Xerath chasing the Varus. Warwick turns around and now going after the support. Gets Oceanic Abyss. Might be able to get more. Is his ult up? No, it is not. It doesn't actually matter, though. Varus going the wrong way. No flash. So Varus is going to get away. Kayn wisely decides to not get involved. Tahm Kench does manage with a little bit of help to prevent the turret from going down. Nasus is still AFK farming. Has managed to get 21 stacks. Looks like he's trying to push a little bit more than get his stacks up, though, which is fine. And Warwick and Vayne are working to push this bot lane turret. And Kayn is taking advantage of that to try to get Baron.
Ambitious play.
Ambitious, but not anything that they will have any trouble doing without some major influence here from the Xerath. Xerath might be able to try to pick this off. I don't think he'll be able to. Nope. Fires off a little bit too late. Alright, so Baron buff now on Northern Storm. Not a sentence that anyone who's playing against them wants to hear.
Yeah, we are reaching a point where that late game scaling is going to be very vital to both teams, and considering the choices that were made in Champ Select and during the ban phase, right now Northern Storm is in much better positioning.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Nasus obviously... okay. Obviously, Nasus is not in a good spot, but he's managed to somewhat catch up, at least in CS, compared to where he was at before. And look at all these minions in the top lane that now he has a chance to feed off of. Tasty, tasty minions. Meanwhile, Malz gets taken out with relatively little ceremony. Kayn in a really powerful spot, also 7-1. Both junglers doing really great this game.
Oh yeah, and even though we're going to the late game, it's very important to show that Brew City Brawlers have not let this game get out of their control.
Yeah, I mean, they're really putting up a good effort, and this Vayne is still very scary. Doesn't quite manage to get that Veigar. Kayn is just sitting here waiting for Vayne to push too far forward. Good job by the Warwick, and there goes the Vayne. Boy, they're just making me bounce all over the place here. It's good. It's nice that Warwick is taking advantage of the fact that Nasus is considered a bit of a weak character at this point, so he's able to come in and take advantage of everyone trying to pick on the Nasus.
Textbook baiting. Textbook.
Veigar is really low. He's got to look out. Good suppression there, but taking a lot of damage. Alright, Veigar finally gets taken out. Warwick now trying to go in on the Kayn. Doesn't seem like he's able to get away with it. Nasus here to help. Nasus does help. Nasus still trying to help. He might actually be able to really do some work here. Go Nasus. Meanwhile, Tahm Kench is pushing bot rather effectively. Very low health, though. This Vayne could make his life really painful. Looks like Vayne's fine with just... Oh! Gets him out of his ult. But now we see Tahm Kench fed. Ironically saves the Vayne a little bit, at least for a moment. Does his thick skin, just that super tankiness. Does get taken down though. One for one there. Tom Kench has been doing his job over and over again. Varus getting a third Infernal Drake. This is just insane. Good job preventing the Warwick from getting it.
Very good suppression, keeping Warwick alive there.
Good trades for the stuns there. Good job saving himself there by Truffle. Dang, still gets picked off though. Delete button extraordinaire. Looking for more. Gets the stun. Gets the Nasus. Triple kill. This Veigar is at 176. Phenomenal evil power indeed. Nasus is at 132. So managed to get a couple more stacks on there. Good roll by the Vayne trying to get out. Does manage to. Gets a lot of damage. Vayne is actually really powerful right now. She just never finds a chance to go off because of the stuns that Veigar and company are able to land on her.
Oh yeah, and Vayne's sitting on an IE right now, static shiv. Just incredible damage potential with them crits.
Ooh, Warwick gets stunned, didn't want that to happen.
Not really penalized for it.
Alright, so Varus is farming in the bot lane, or top lane. Nasus has got to try to find a lane to get back to. Looks like they're signaling they kind of want to head bot. Might be able to catch somebody out here. Looks like Mal's blue flash. No, yeah, Mal's blue flash there, but that's fine. Was trying to do a channeled flash, but still managed to miss it, unfortunately. Nasus might be trying to bait here a little bit. See if anyone falls for it. Doesn't look like it. Zyra's doing a lot of damage too. She does have her Landry's Torment now. Warwick blows Flash. Interesting choice there. Good save by the Tom Kench.
Let's see if he's able to do anything with it.
Nope. Oh, Nasus tries to help the Mals. Ooh, almost the record, Varus. Not quite. Sorry. Varus gets away with 11 hit points. Alright, Truffle manages to help here. Nasus surviving a long time. Wow. Great job by that Warwick. I think ulted into the wall there and caught the cane. I might have been wrong, but it looked like that's what he did.
Difficult to read. The cane was there 1 second, and he wasn't.
Alright, so I mean, despite the rather chaotic nature of that fight, I think Brawlers came out ahead there.
Oh yeah, they narrowed the gold lead by about 2k, only making it a 3k gold lead, so most definitely, they're keeping this within range.
Yeah, I'm just so scared for them because of all the Infernal Drakes. We'll have to see if they're able to secure any sort of close gap on that. There is an Earth Drake as the next dragon coming up. So if they manage to secure that, they might have a bit of tower pushing potential that they could use. Of course, if Northern Storm gets that, that'll just be really rough then for all the inhibitors and objectives that still need to be taken.
Oh yeah, and plus keeping in mind, those 3 Infernals, it's been a whole bunch of skirmishes. We're 28 minutes into the game and we're yet to have a proper team fight. So when a proper team fight happens, that's when those drakes are going to happen. Oh!
A lot of pickoffs. I mean, that's what they were talking about before. Not much in the way of gold for her anymore because she's died 7 times, mostly in a row. But still, you know, nice to pick up. Xerath in a lot of trouble here, but might be able to... Oh, mistimes the invincibility. Good flash, and these are the pickups that they were looking for. This is exactly the combos that they were looking for, the ways they're looking to angle this. And they're up to 5 versus 3 with 12 seconds. They could get this turret. I mean, Kane's gone. That's half their damage. Well, a third of their damage. Right there. Stun has been used. Warwick's trying to split push. Maybe not the best use for him right now. Yeah, Warwick's paying for a little of his arrogance there, unfortunately.
Yeah, he really needs to be follow-up damage once someone gets bursted down a little bit, make his moves. I understand the play. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made sense what he was trying to do. You know, you're up against 3 people. You're really fed. Might as well try to push. But the problem is no one else on their team is really that great at engaging except the Warwick. We've seen the Malzahar try a couple of times with his flash ult. Ooh, good sidestepping there by the Veigar. Really good play. Good suppression. Get in there, Vayne. Good save by the Tahm Kench. Vayne does not manage to get the Veigar. Meanwhile, they practically solo Baron.
But it might not pay off if they're able to close out this team fight.
It doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Nasus gets picked off. All the low health heroes on Northern Storm survive, unfortunately, for Bruce City Brawlers.
Very good cue from that Varus to finish off.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were making the best effort they could there. But unfortunately, the Baron just was the turnaround that Northern Storm needed in that situation. Take a look at the Q stacks. We've got Veigar at 223. Nasus, or not Q stacks, just stacks in general. Nasus at 159. So Nasus not quite getting as much farm as he might need. He's getting a little more involved in the team fights instead. Warwick's really trying here. We'll see if he can do anything. Gets stunned. At this point, I might almost want the Warwick to get a Quicksilver Sash.
Maybe, but Warwick does have the Spirit Visage, so he's got some good MR right now. Plus, he's going to heal out of a lot of the damage in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he's got almost 4,000 hit points. And he's really stalling out on this dragon. Here's hoping his team manages to help him out there. 2 suppressions blown to shut down that Kayn. 5v4 currently. Interesting use of Mal's there. Warwick might be able to get away. Good silence there, saving the Warwick for at least the moment. Lots of good silences. Alon-Z is doing a really good job there. Oh, great turnaround there by the Warwick. Bot inhibitor, unfortunately, is going to go down.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to let him go. It's not worth your life.
Yeah, Varus was really hungry there. But a really good play by the Mals, keeping him alive with those silences. Lots of inhibitors down. Nasus looks like he might be trying to come to cut off. Nope, just for defense. Alright, so Infernal Drake's doing a lot of work against the buildings even without the Earth Drake tacked on, which they may get here. A lot of defense. That Baron buff doing a lot of work too.
Warwick back in the exact same situation that started off that 5-minute team fight.
Just devours Zyra. Probably not going to be able to get away with it this time though. Vayne trying to help. Does ult. Gets stunned anyway. Dragon might get the kill here. Nope.
Oh!
Oh, there's the Xerath ult that we've all been waiting for. Suppression tries to hold him on. The problem is when you suppress and there's no follow-up, you're still going to die. Good job by the Nasus, though, coming in there.
Warwick made it out by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
If he gets out. Still not get. Yeah, he will get out.
Looks like he'll get out. All right, so once again, another fight that was won by the Brawlers. Or technically, I suppose the fight's still technically going on. So 3 for right now. Mal's needs to get back and heal. Warwick is here. Oh, and he's hungry. Varus and Tahm Kench are the only ones there. Of course, Tahm Kench can't save the Varus from any sort of problems. Vayne here too now, so that should end the team fight. Alright, and now a rush down to get the Earth Drake, which they will get easily because Warwick, for once, is not in a position to try to stop it. Alright, so about a 5k gold lead now. Almost 6. Probably in just a sit back and farm super minion state at this point for the Brawlers. If they push out, they're probably going to get picked off. Though they might be able to do some of their picking off of their own. I mean, Warwick is, 30% unkillable at this point. He's got how much health? Almost 4,000 health. Looks like he is full build though, so that's probably going to be the end of it. Runs,
Maybe.
yeah, runs headfirst into the cane, but just devours the cane.
Yeah, Warwick's reached critical mass in terms of damage.
This actually answers the question of who Warwick has to be scared of. One-on-one, it's not Kane.
I don't think it's anybody right now.
Ooh, good job by Truffle surviving against that Varus. Not going to matter, though. Might actually matter, though. Oh, Truffle gets away with 8 hit points. New record.
Man, oh man. Careful
Vayne
about them
does manage to
minions,
get... Oh,
homie.
no, he doesn't manage to get out. Never mind. No more record. Nice try.
What
The
killed him
red
there?
fire buff from the red buff. Damage over time, just barely.
Shoo-wee.
Too many ticks. Or either that or Varus' rage has increased a lot longer than I thought it has. Alright, Warwick really wants to go in on this, but doesn't have any backup. Plus, Tom Kench is the only person on the map with more health than Warwick. At least I would certainly hope so. So yeah, critical mass Warwick is of course very scary. And something that they're going to really have to coordinate. So at this point, unless they manage to pick people off, Warwick needs to definitely stay with the team. So that the team can distract anyone who might be trying to kill Warwick. And then Warwick can just, you know, clean up. I mean, we're at 19-3 with this Warwick. Absolutely phenomenal play. Of course,
Yeah,
that also means that Warwick is probably going to be the first person that gets banned next game. But, you know.
I don't know if it was much Warwick the pick or the player. LeBron's Names has made incredible plays this game, and that definitely, the accolades should go to him and not the champion.
Well, sure, but you know, obviously they're going to try to shut it down as much as they can. Xerath getting picked up here, not listening to stay home and don't get picked off. Alright, so Xerath is down for 50 seconds. Baron is up in 20, so most likely they'll just go for another Baron buff. Warwick gets spotted out, but we'll see how this works out for him. Good RAR. Oh, Warwick's going to get picked off here. Nope, manages to get away. Everyone's going to get away except the Nasus. Nasus tries to flash out, doesn't quite make it. And they go to hide under their one turret. Inhibitors are respawning. Not sure I agree with the use of that suppression, but...
Yeah, Tom Kench was probably the worst target in that scenario, but I can understand you want to just suppress somebody.
Tom Kench is tagging all these turret shots like, hey guys, let's kill this turret. But
Yeah,
they
I mean,
decide.
look at the big ugly mother. Looks like it's a face only a mother would suppress.
They decide to go for the inhibitors that have respawned instead. Vayne doing a good job staying alive. Tom Kench being big and scary. Baron is up. Good job by the Xayah, and now with the Warwick down, that's probably going to be game. 60 seconds on him. Nice try by the Xerath ults. Only manages to hit Fatly with one of them, though. And with all the focus fire on the Nexus, that is going to be GG. GG. Alright, so really good effort by the Brawlers in that first game. Did some good engages, did some good play. Warwick, of course, did phenomenally. And, you know, hoping to see more of that in the second game. What did you take away from that, Sig?
If the Brawlers would have shown this kind of tenacity and willingness to play from behind, prior to today, they might not be in the position they're in now. All around beautiful play. Alonzi showing mouse support, something to be worried about, something to be feared. LeBron's Names 19-4. Just whoa! Just put the whole team on his back. It was very impressive display, but there's a reason that our undefeated Northern Stormers staying exactly where they are.
All right. So we will take a really quick break, and then we'll move into the final game of the night, Game 2 of Northern Storm versus Brew City Brawlers. Please stay tuned.